Prosecutors opposing Sean Combs, known as Diddy, from being released on bond have shared text messages his alleged victim sent to him. In Touch has reported on this development. The motion filed by the government aims to prevent Diddy's third attempt to secure a $50 million bond. The 55-year-old music mogul has been incarcerated in a New York prison since his arrest on September 16 on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. He has pleaded not guilty. Prosecutors argue that Diddy is a flight risk and should remain in custody until his trial next year. In his plea for release, Diddy referenced text messages from the alleged victim, claiming they demonstrate a loving, at times toxic, long-term relationship between two adults who decided to mutually break up. Diddy's lawyer stated during a hearing, "This is a 10-year relationship. These two people were in love. That will be made abundantly clear by the way they speak to each other, by the way other witnesses describe their time together, and by the circumstances of how they broke up. They were in love, but Diddy wasn't always faithful. At the end of the day, there was mutual philandering, and victim number one ended up marrying the trainer that Diddy got for her and had 2 children. That signaled the end of the relationship." Prosecutors dismissed the notion that the text messages presented prove a loving relationship. They stated, furthermore, in presenting recently produced text messages, Diddy cherry-picks to paint a misleading picture, ignoring numerous other messages in the record between the defendant and victim 1 documenting Diddy's physical abuse of victim 1 and his threats to expose recordings of freak-offs. Freak-offs refer to alleged sex parties orchestrated by Diddy, involving women and sex workers, with accusations of using threats and pressure to force participation. The government highlighted additional text messages from the alleged victim that Diddy's legal team did not mention. One message read, "You know what sick and disgusting stuff I was reminded of the other day? You forcing me to omit it, or you were going to leak some freak-off stuff." Another message stated, "I have a black eye and fat lip. You are sick for thinking it's okay to do what you've done." A third message read, "I still have crazy bruising." In another message, the alleged victim wrote, "I turn my head for a second and you get messed up, and you drag me down the hall by my hair." Other messages included statements like, "I have bleeding cuts. You hit me in the head 2 good times. And when you get messed up the wrong way, you always want to show me that you have the power, and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll, I'm someone's child." Addressing Diddy's claim that the allegations were made for financial gain, prosecutors said, "Across multiple bail hearings and in the instant brief, the defendant has made clear that his litigation strategy is to personally attack victim 1, stooping to any depth to attempt to undermine her credibility. Setting aside this questionable strategy, none of the information that purportedly undermines victim 1's motives was unknown to the defendant at the initial bail hearing." They requested that Diddy remain in custody despite his pleas. A judge has yet to make a ruling.